Okay, this is Julie here for the English Mixed Martial Arts Association. Chloe Gowen joins me today, female flyweight in the Four Nations tournament. It's a pleasure to have you with us. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's a big tournament we have to talk about, obviously coming up for Team England as well. How excited are you about being in the team?
Honestly, I when I like received the selection and like the news, honestly, I was beyond gassed. Like I remember being in the car, got the email, and yeah, I was just really excited to go back into the gym and like start training for like another fight. Like I was waiting for another fight to be on the cards. So for it to come up and especially be this one, yeah, honestly beyond happy.
What inspired you to want to join the team?
I saw Mitch from
Yeah,
the gym. He
I
follows
knew
the
that
exact
was your
same
answer.
route. Yeah, 100%. Like my initial thoughts to like go pro and stuff like that was to like just keep ticking off the list, keep ticking off like fighting and stuff like that, and then go through like the Cage Warriors route. But after seeing Mitch do like the Four Nations, doing like the Euros, the Worlds, and following that route into his now like pro career, it's just another avenue to like hit the pro cards and stuff like that. So I think it's a great opportunity to like at least go out there and represent your country as well.
Yeah, for sure. And the format's obviously different to amateur fighting, usually multiple fights and multiple days, etc. How are you prepared to tackle that?
It's a good weight category as well. Usually, like the last
Yeah.
fight that I fought was at 2 kilos. It was like day before weigh-in. So the weight, I'm speaking to my nutritionist at the moment, and he luckily he's got everything planned because I don't think I could do it myself. So he's got like all that route planned so that I'm consistently weighing in on the day. I don't have to worry about like water cuts, and like dehydration, and like bring myself to a low like 2 hours before I fight and stuff like that. So I'm feeling strong at the moment where I am. So like the weight should be perfectly good and like everything else is just like a normal camp would be, just go out and fight and reload, rest and stuff like that, and then just be ready for the next day, to be honest. It just
Yeah,
feels like I'm sparring every day, which is like nothing that I'm not used to anyway. So
yeah, the same day weigh-ins obviously different to what people have done before as well.
yeah, it's going to be a bit of a weird one. Like I've spoken to some of the guys in the chat and they were saying it's about like 2 hours before the fight. So the the schedule before the fight is a little bit close, but if I'm on weight and I'm like feeling comfortable and settled at the weight anyway, it shouldn't be like much of a major issue, to be fair.
Yeah, for sure. What's your um roadmap to going pro then at the moment? 22.
It's a good question. I'd love to hit the same like boxes like Mitch ticks, like hopefully do the worlds and like the Euros at some point and maybe do like a couple of rotations of like what I'm gonna do this year, tick off a few belts I've got lined up. Like I'd love to be like I've just ticked off the Shock and Awe like championship. So I'd love to like definitely get a few more belts under me. And then maybe when I'm like 23, 24, like just hit the pro route and then just like go for it flying. I'd love to get like multiple fights under my belt before I even like think about going pro. So like this is definitely the best way to do it, tick off 2, 3 fights in a weekend and just like wrap the record up, the experience up, and then just keep going from there really.
For sure. How would you describe your style, Chloe?
I'm definitely a pressure fighter. I think like my first couple of fights, Mitch tried to like, and the coaches tried to like rein me in. I just love to go out there and just fucking like hammer away. I just love a scrap at the end of the day. But like the last camp and like what he's working towards this camp, he's like trying to like zone me in. He's like do a little bit of pressure, rein it back, just like win every moment in the fight. And I seen that tactic seems to work a lot better for me. So I do love to pressure fight. I do love to scrap at the end of the day. And if it ends up being like that, I do love to just like throw hands. But like I need to think a little bit more tactically going into the fight. So like I definitely like to be out there and be the attacking, but I've been a little bit more tactical the past couple of like the past camp and definitely this one. So it's definitely working out a lot better for me.
What was it like at the start then? Was it a bit different?
I think I was just so excited to be out there. Like I remember my first fight, I was just like keen to just like go out, smash it, get a win,
Yeah.
and it definitely worked in my favor. Like I finished in like did a first round take like TKO, which was amazing, and then the second fight was just a little bit more of a brawl. Like I watch it back, and I was out there, like I was winning, like I won every exchange, but like I was just like constant, 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 and it just didn't work in my favor too well. Like at parts where I could have like pulled back and like reassessed and just like won every minute a little bit easier. Like it was just a little bit more intense on that front. Whereas the last fight that I did, I was just a little bit more tactical. The first round went absolutely beautifully. Second round, not so much. Like there was definitely a few errors there, but because I won like a lot more little like moments in the match, I think that's what gave me the third round and gave me the win and like the belt at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you in the squad. What do you make of the team dynamic so far? I
It
know you
seems to
haven't been in and amongst the Four
no,
Nations as of yet, but what have you made of it at the moment?
obviously I did a couple of like the training days way back
Exactly,
when.
yeah.
Yeah, the team seems to be like absolutely amazing. Like they've got the group chat going off and stuff, and like I've definitely heard some stories about like past like camps and like
Yeah.
trips away like that, and it just seems to like but aside from all the fighting and like all the experience and stuff like that, it seems to be just like a really good experience to go out there, like meet some new teammates and just like bond as like almost like a family unit rather than just like we're individual fighters going out to like individually fight like we're so much like used to. So it's nice to have that dynamic behind us and like almost like have our whole team behind me when I'm going to be out there, which yeah, I honestly can't wait for.
Yeah, well, we really look forward to seeing it July 14th to the 16th over in
Mhm.
Wales. And yeah, it's a pleasure to speak to you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing.